So far we have discussed about the meaning of the polynomial and the classification of polynomial on the basis of number of terms and the degree of the polynomial. So I want you to complete these self-assessment questions and take a few minutes break over here. And then we'll move on to the zeros of the polynomial. Now, zeros of the polynomial. Now, to understand the zeros of the polynomial, first we'll take some examples. Now, the first example A, we have p of x equal to 3 minus x, and this is a polynomial in one variable, as well as it is a binomial because there is a two terms and the power of the variable is 1, therefore it is a linear polynomial. Similarly, in the second example is the quadratic polynomial and it is a trinomial, and it is a polynomial in one variable, that is y. And in this third example we have polynomial in variable r, and it is a linear polynomial as well as it is a binomial. And the fourth example is a polynomial in variable z, and it is a cubic polynomial because of its degree, and on the basis of number of terms, then it is a binomial. Now let's find the values of these polynomial at different values of x. So we'll discuss the first one, that is p of x equal to 3 minus x. Now if I put 1 in place of x, so p of 1 equal to, it becomes 3 minus, we have to put x equal to 1, so 3 minus 1, and we'll get p of 1 equal to 2. Similarly, if I put 2 in place of x, so it becomes 3 minus 2 and p of 2 equals 1. Again, I'll take another number or the value for the x, that is p of 3 equal to 3 minus 3, and here it becomes 0. And the next example, that is example B, I'll write down the question first, that is py equal to y square plus y minus 2, and we'll put different values of y. First I'll put y equal to 0, so you'll get by solving this you'll get p of 0 equal to minus 2, and if I put y equal to 1, then I'll get 1 square plus 1. Instead of y, I have to put value 1 and minus 2, so you'll get p of 1 equal to 1 plus 1 minus 2, p of 1 equal to 1 plus 1 is 2 minus 2, and p of 1 equal to 0. 2 minus 2 is 0. Similarly, I'll take another value for y, that is p of minus 2 equals minus 2 square plus minus 2 minus 2. So by solving this, you'll get minus 2 square is 4, and plus into minus is minus 2 minus 2. So you'll get 4 minus 2 is 2 minus 2, and p of minus 2 equals 0. Okay, let's move on to the third example. You can take any value of the variable in each cases. Okay, p of r here equal to r minus 5, and if I put 1 in place of r, I'll get 1 minus 5, so it will give minus 4. Now if I take r equal to 2, then I'll get 2 minus 5, which is equal to minus 3, and if I put r equal to 5, then I'll get 5 minus 5, which is equal to 0. In the fourth example, we have variable z, therefore p of z equal to z square minus 1. So if I put z equal to 1, then I'll get 1 square minus 1, which is equal to 0. And if I put z equal to 2, then 2 square minus 1, which is equal to, again 2 square is 4 minus 1 equal to 3. And if I put z equal to minus 1, then I'll get minus 1 square minus 1, which is equal to minus 1 square is 1, so minus 1, again you'll get 0 over here. So in these four examples, you have noticed that at certain value the given polynomial becomes 0. For example, in the first case, if I put x equal to 3, then the given polynomial becomes 0. In the second one, I got two values for the y, which makes the given polynomial 0, that are p of 1 equal to 0 and p of minus 2 equal to 0. In the third one is p of 5 equal to 0. And in the fourth one is p of 1 equal to 0 and p of minus 1 equal to 0. So in each examples you have noticed that at certain value the given polynomial, certain value of variables, the given polynomial becomes 0. Therefore we can say that in the first one we can say 3 is the 0 of p of x, because 3 makes the given polynomial 0. And in the second case we can write 1 and minus 2 are the zeros of the p of y, because if I put y equal to 1 it becomes 0, and if I put y equal to minus 2 again it becomes 0. Therefore these are called zeros of the polynomial. And in the third example we have p of 5 equal to 0. Therefore we can write 5 is the 0 of the p of r, because in polynomial p of r, if I put r equal to 5, then the given polynomial becomes 0. Therefore 5 is the 0 of p of r. And in the fourth example we have 1 and minus 1. 1 and minus 1 are the 0 of p of z, because instead of z, if I put 1, the given polynomial becomes 0, and instead of z, if I put minus 1, again it becomes 0. Therefore, now the zeros of the polynomial means the value of the variable at which the given polynomial becomes 0 is called the zeros of the polynomial. For example, if I put here 1, then it does not become 0. Therefore, 1 is not the 0 of the given polynomial. Similarly, here 0 is not the 0 of the p of y. And here 1 is not the 0 of p of r. And here 2 is not the 0 of p of z. Therefore, we can say that x equal to a is called the 0 of polynomial p of x when p of a is equal to 0. That means instead of x, if I put a, then it becomes 0. Then we can say that the given value a is the 0 of the given polynomial. Okay, let's move on to the next. Now here we are going to differentiate between the zeros of the polynomial and the zero polynomial. Many of the students make confusion between these two terms, that is zeros of the polynomial and zero polynomial. They are totally different things. Okay, zeros of the polynomial versus the zero polynomial. Now what is zero polynomial? Zero polynomial is p of x equal to 0. The given polynomial is 0. So whatever value of x I put, for example, if I put 1, the value remains 0. Because if there is a x here, then 0 into 1 is 0. Similarly, 0 into 2 is 0. So 0 p of 100, 0 into any value is 0. So therefore we can say that zero polynomial has indefinite number of zeros. And we have already discussed in the earlier video that the degree of the zero polynomial is not defined. Therefore, zero polynomial has indefinite number of zeros, 0. Okay, now the zeros, on the other hand, when we talk about zeros of the polynomial, I hope you have understood what is zero polynomial. Zero polynomial means p of x equal to 0, or you can say p of r equal to 0, or p of y equal to 0. Zero itself is called the zero polynomial. So whatever value of x you put, the answer will always yield 0. So zero polynomial has indefinite number of 0, whereas the zeros of the polynomial means the value of x which makes the given polynomial 0. For example, x equal to a is called a 0 of the polynomial p of x when p of a equal to 0. For example, we have p of x equal to 3 minus x. Now, if I put x equal to 3, then p of 3 equal to 3 minus 3, p of 3 equal to 0. That means 3 is the 0 of given polynomial. Now, till here, I hope you have understood the zeros of the polynomial and zero polynomial. If x equal to a is a 0 of a polynomial p of x, then we can say that x minus a is a factor of p of x. For example, we have p of x equal to 2x minus 2. If I put x equal to 1, that means instead of a, I'm writing 1. So here x, and instead of a, I'll write 1. So p of 1 equal to 2 into 1 minus 2, and p of 1 equal to 2 minus 2, and p of 1 equal to 0. Therefore, we can say that 1 is the 0 of p of x, because 1 makes, if I put 1 in place of x, the given polynomial becomes 0. Therefore, 1 is the 0 of the p of x. Now, this also implies that x minus a is a factor of p of x. And we have learned about the factors and multiples in our lower classes. For example, 2 is a factor of 6 because 2 can divide the 6 by giving the remainder 0, isn't it? So, here x minus 1 is a factor of 2x minus 2. If you divide 2x minus 2 by x minus 1, it should give the remainder 0. Okay, now let's talk about the next part, that is, now this is kind of reverse of this statement or inverse. For example, now here we have said that if x equal to a is a 0, then x minus a is a factor. Now here, if x minus a is a factor of p of x, then a is the 0 of p of x. So this part will be discussed in detail in the later part of the chapter. But till here, it's very important to you to note that if x equal to a is a 0 of a polynomial, then x minus a is a factor. And similarly, if x minus a is a factor of p of x, then a is the 0 of p of x. Okay, let's take few examples. Find the value of the following polynomials at the indicated value of the variables. Now, in each case, they have indicated the value for the variable. Here it says that x equal to 1, and here is equal to y equal to 2. We have two different examples over here. You have to find the value of the polynomial at the indicated value of the variable. Now, if I put x equal to 1, then what does it yield? So you have to find that. For example, first one is p of x equal to 5x square minus 3x plus 7. So it is said that x equal to 1. So you put 1 in place of x. So p of 1 equal to 5 into 1 square minus 3 into 1 plus 7, which is equal to 5 minus 3 plus 7. 5 minus 3 is 2 plus 7. Therefore, you will get p of 1 equal to 9. That means value of polynomial is 9 when you put x equal to 1. And in the next example, you are asked to put y equal to 2. So we write down the question first, that is polynomial in variable y equal to, or q of y equal to 3y cubed minus 4y plus root of 11. So you'll put y equal to 2, q of 2 equal to 3 into 2 cube minus 4 into 2 plus square root of 11. And q of 2 equal to 3 into 2 raised to power 3 is 8, minus 4 into 2 is 8, plus square root of 11. So q of 2 equal to 24 plus 8 minus square root of 11. And 24 plus 8 is 32 minus square root of 11. 32 plus 11. Therefore, the value of polynomial or the given polynomial at y equal to 2 is 32 minus square root of 11. Let's take another example. In this example, check whether minus 2 and 2 are zeros of the polynomial x plus 2. That is, to become or to be the zeros of the given polynomial, it should give the value 0 for the value of the polynomial. That is, check whether minus 2 and 2 are zeros of the polynomial x plus 2. Therefore, to check for the zeros, that means if x equal to minus 2, it should give 0 if the minus 2 is the zeros of the polynomial. Similarly, if I put x equal to 2, then it should also give the value 0 if they are the zeros of the given polynomial. Now let's check it out. Okay, we'll write the solution and let polynomial in variable x equal to x plus 2. So first we'll put x equal to 2, and then you'll get p of 2 equal to 2 plus 2 and p of 2 equal to 4. Now we'll put x equal to minus 2. Therefore, we'll get p of minus 2 equal to minus 2 plus 2, and minus 2 plus 2 is 0. Therefore, you can conclude that minus 2 is a 0 of the polynomial. There is a space between a and 0, sorry. Minus 2 is a 0 of polynomial x plus 2, but 2 is not a 0 of the given polynomial, because when you put x equal to 2, the result is not 0. Therefore, 2 is not the 0 of x plus 2, whereas minus 2 is the 0 of x plus 2. Let's take next example. Now here it says that verify whether 2 and 0 are zeros of the polynomial x square minus 2x. Verify means check whether the given two numbers are the zeros of the polynomial or not. To be the zeros of the given polynomial, it should give the value 0. If you put x equal to 2 and if you put x equal to 0, the result should be 0. So we'll try to find out, to write the solution. Let p of x equal to x square minus 2x, and first we'll put x equal to 2. We'll get p of 2 equal to 2 square minus 2 into 2. P of 2 equal to 2 square is 4, minus 2 2s are 4, and p of 2 equals to 0. Let's take another one, that is x equal to 0, and p of 0 equal to, instead of x I'll write 0, so 0 square minus 2 into 0, and p of 0 equal to 0 square is 0, minus 2 into 0 is again 0. Therefore, we can conclude that 2 and 0 are both zeros of the polynomial x square minus 2x, because at both the indicated value, the given polynomial becomes 0. So few things to be noted here. First one is 0 of a polynomial need not be 0. In here you see that 2 is the 0 of the polynomial, but 2 is not 0. Therefore, 0 of a polynomial need not be 0. It can take any value. Second one is 0 may be a 0 of a polynomial. That is, here we have an example. We put x equal to 0. Now here 0 is the 0 of the given polynomial. So 0 may be a 0 of a polynomial. In this example, it is clear because 0 is also the 0 of the given polynomial x square minus 2x. Okay, last one is a polynomial can have more than one zeros. Now till now we have discussed about the zeros of the polynomial, and in every example we got 2 zeros so far. So in the later part we will discuss more about it, because it is mentioned that a polynomial can have more than one zeros. For example, this is a polynomial and it is a quadratic polynomial. Every quadratic polynomial has 2 zeros. In the previous example also you can check. And every linear polynomial has 1 0. So we'll discuss more about it in the later part of the chapter. Now, at last I would like to request every student to do the exercise 2.1 and 2.2 of NCERT textbook mathematics.